Number 1. This video comes from the YouTube channel Small Plots, where Kevin documents quiet outdoor adventures, often camping solo in unusual and overlooked places. His style is very down-to-earth, showing both the peaceful and uncomfortable sides of these trips. On November 8th, 2023, Kevin sets out for a stealth camping mission on the abandoned grounds of a decaying hotel near the edge of a city. Once a functioning hotel, the place is now overgrown and forgotten, with only occasional patrols passing through. Kevin parks at a distance and makes his way in carefully, aiming to spend the night unnoticed. Despite the steady rain and the hotel's eerie reputation, Kevin manages to set up a small, cozy camp among the ruins. The surroundings are quiet, with only the sounds of rain and distant frogs in the background. The atmosphere feels peaceful, but it doesn't last. As darkness falls, the mood begins to shift. Strange noises start to break the silence.
I want to know. I want to see what makes the magic happen, as it were. The sun's been set for a while. It's completely dark. You know, I'm just sitting here. It's not even any kind of late enough to go to bed. I mean, what I've eaten, I just cracked it here. Let's not do that. You know, like just cracked a space kitty. So nothing to do, but kind of like, I don't know, sit here and listen. I can hear they sound like crickets, but I think they're toads. Or possibly tree frogs, although it's a little late in the season for tree frogs. It's early November here in upstate New York. Although it is a relatively warm day for the season. I think it got up to the high 50s, lower 60s Fahrenheit. It's only supposed to get into the mid 40s tonight. So yeah, bugs and frogs. The last remaining that didn't get any kind of, you know, what they were looking for in the summer. Then they're just kind of hanging out, just grasping at straws until they get frozen.
At first, Kevin assumes it's just the local wildlife, but the feeling of unease starts to build. Rain seeps in from the side of the tarp, and the temperature drops, making things a bit uncomfortable.
Let's do a little tour of the tent, eh? As you can see, here's my sleeping pad. Not in its final configuration. As you can see, it's up on some rocks and stuff there, so I'll turn it diagonally. And then behind me is this endless darkness. As you can see, that's where my pack and stuff is. Rain's really starting to pick up. Just kind of hanging out, enjoying my space kitty. There we go. Greg just kind of just hanging out in a tent, and like that. I'm gonna entice some of these deer. It is the rut. I better be careful. Oh boy. And I thought that was going to be way more splashy. The rain's coming down pretty good. In fact, it's coming down a little too good. Despite the tarp physically covering this, the rain's kind of coming in a little bit, slightly from the side. So I realized that my feet were just sort of getting wet ambiently. There's not a ton of rain right here. But like right here between you and I, there's a little bit of rain. A little bit of rain just kind of coming in. But I don't want to just get wet feet. That's the point of having a shelter, right? You don't want to get wet. Man, this is yeah. It's definitely like building up right here. Like I said, I did not have a ton of time to set up the tarp in a good way. It was.
Then suddenly something runs right past his tent. It's fast, too fast, and too light-footed to be a deer.
It's got to be a rain alarm for the airport right over there. I've heard that before when I've been camping in the vicinity while it was raining. And they're like, oh God! Something just ran by the tent. It was the lights in my eyes, I couldn't see anything. Had to have been a deer. Whew. I saw like movement and this light in my eyes. It must have come like right down a hill here and ran across. Oh man. I don't think. Wait, I just thought I did. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Between the eerie alarm happening over at the airport and whatever it was that just ran past me about 3-4 feet in front of me, I think it's safe to say I'm a little bit on edge.
Kevin can't see what it was, but the sound is clear. Whatever passed by was close, just a few feet away. No heavy footsteps, no rustling through the brush, just a quick, silent movement. The quiet of the night is broken, and Kevin is left alert and on edge.
Anything that makes me think it wasn't a deer? Was I didn't hear any crashing before or afterwards? Deer are not like that subtle. And I didn't hear any crashing before it came in. Maybe when I listen to the video I will. But I didn't hear any crashing before or after. I just heard something run past me.
Trying to make sense of what just happened. Could it have been a fox, a raccoon, or something else entirely? Something watching from the darkness. Number 2. YouTubers Jenks and Matilda recently shared a thrilling video of their adventure in Chitwan National Park, Nepal. And what started as a peaceful outing quickly turned intense. Their day began calmly with a scenic canoe ride through waters where crocodiles lurked just below the surface. But the real drama started once they entered the dense jungle.
In the jungle.
Anyway, I'm gonna let you know for the chitonness just certain time. Otherwise tiger come. That's not to stay in the one place. It's long. They smell us and then come.
The smell.
Okay.
So okay. So now you are right in the Chiton National Park.
Whoa.
Everyone meet Ronaldo.
Come in. It's behind us.
No.
Without warning, a wild elephant suddenly charged out of the bushes. The calm turned to chaos in seconds. The pair ran for cover among the trees as their guide urgently tried to keep the situation under control. In Nepal, wild elephants can be extremely territorial, and it's likely the animal saw them as a threat in its space. The group stayed hidden for nearly 20 minutes, unsure whether the elephant was still nearby.
That is okay. That is really okay. Do this. Do this. It's fine. He's hiding when I come. Wild elephant. The elephant was in complete stealth mode. Do not say anything. Is it still there? I don't know already.
Eventually, their guide gave the signal to move, but the sense of danger lingered. Feeling unsafe and shaken by the close encounter, they chose to cut their jungle exploration short and head back immediately. Number 3. This creator was out in the desert doing what he usually does, documenting his hikes through dry, rugged terrain, surrounded by thick brush and open skies. Everything seemed quiet at first. He could hear the wind, the crunch of his steps, maybe even a distant engine. Nothing out of the ordinary.
gente, pero como les digo, este desierto es muy traicionero y complicado también. Aquí encontré un arroyito donde corre el agua. Yo oía un carro por ahí.
But then the atmosphere shifted. Suddenly, sharp cracks echoed through the air.
En partes está muy cerrado y en partes se aclara como ahí. Pero siempre hay que andar con cuidado, mi gente, bien ojo de chícharo, bien trucha. Porque hoy están disparando, me raza. Están disparando por aquel lado. ¿Quién sabe? Hoy nomás. Tan fuertes los disparos, mi gente, para allá. Hoy nomás. Ahí viene otra camioneta y va pasando otra camioneta, miren. Y va bien duro ahí en la terracería. Allá va bien duro, mi raza.
Gunshots, and not just one. At first, it was unclear where they were coming from. Then another truck rolled by, and the shots came faster, louder, more frequent. What started as a peaceful solo hike quickly turned into a terrifying scramble for cover.
Uy. Y es que pasó una camioneta. Ya había pasado una y ahorita pasó otra. Hoy nomás.
Unsure whether he had wandered into a hunting zone or something far more dangerous, he hit the ground and stayed as low as possible, hoping not to be caught in the crossfire. The gunfire didn't stop right away. Minutes passed, tension building with each second, but eventually, silence returned. It's unclear what exactly happened out there, whether it was reckless target practice or something more sinister. But one thing's certain, he was lucky to make it out unscathed. Number 4, YouTuber Johnny Paranormal takes us into one of the most infamous locations on Earth, Japan's Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Suicide Forest. While most would never dream of stepping foot here alone, Johnny chose to do just that, a solo expedition into the heart of darkness between midnight and 3 a.m.
Oi, anything out there, it's your last chance, I'm heading out. Make a noise, let me know you're here, so I can say hello. At you.
Armed with a flashlight, a camera, and nerves of steel, Johnny wandered deeper into the forest, recording what would become the final chapter of his 9-part series. The footage starts off quiet, eerily quiet. With every step, the silence of the woods presses in tighter, broken only by the crunch of leaves beneath his boots. But then, something changes.
Off! Are you fucking kidding? Holy f. Something just pulled my backpack. Off. Oh God. Hold, Johnny, hold. Come down. Fucking.
In a moment that seems almost surreal, Johnny suddenly reacts. Something, or someone, yanked his backpack.
That has never happened to me. Holy fuck. My hand. Holy. Oh God. Alright. I was just walking along. Back up there. And all I remember is like a fly or a bug or something that's gone zzz, and then something just yanked. Like not too hard where I got pulled back or anything, but like just someone softly pulling like a sharp little.
He spins around, heart racing. There's no one there, just the whispering trees and the dark. He clutches his chest, visibly shaken, his hands trembling, his breath ragged. As he continues his walk, his fear grows. Every few seconds he stops, turns, checks behind him. His instincts are screaming. He's not alone out there. After several more chilling minutes, Johnny makes the call. It's time to go.
Get the f out of here right now.
He retraces his steps, constantly looking over his shoulder. The forest that was silent now feels suffocating. The shadows seem thicker. Every rustle sends a jolt down his spine. He finally reaches the edge of the trail, heart pounding, legs heavy from adrenaline. Number 5. The YouTube channel, Weekend Mish, is known for its daring backcountry hunting and wilderness expeditions across New Zealand's most remote regions. But one particular 13-day journey through the Southern Alps pushed the limits of what even they could endure. Led by the channel's host and joined by his brother, a friend, and a few others, the group set out on a rugged mission to cross the Southern Alps while hunting for a mature red stag.
We're halfway through a 12 to 14 day crossing of the Southern Alps. We're mountaineering, we're trying to track down a mature red stag, and we're going to pack craft out of here. If you were watching the last episode, you would have seen we got my brother Finn and Finn's mate Finn, and we're all absolutely ripping into it.
Their plan was ambitious. Nearly 2 weeks of intense mountaineering, self-sufficiency, and physical endurance. In the early part of the trek, they scaled untouched peaks like Darkness Peak and Pictor Argent, with views that were as stunning as they were rare. Spirits were high, and the team...
Olivine Ice Plateau, Finn and Finn. We've had a look at Darkness this morning, but it's no good with not very much rock protection. Solo scramble in it, got pretty tasty. So we're going to carry on up the plateau for Pictor Argent and Arc now. Holy views. Here's Finn on the summit of Pictor Argent. That's Darkness Peak over there. Back around behind me to the Olivines, into Arc, which we're about to climb. Mission accomplished. Successful summit of Arc and Pictor Argent. Now back down to the boys and hear how they got on. Chee-hoo.
The team felt unstoppable. But deep in these isolated mountains, beauty often walks hand in hand with danger. On the 9th day, everything changed. While navigating steep vegetation-choked cliffs known as Monkey Scrub, one team member suffered a serious fall. Exhaustion, the rugged terrain, and isolation all collided in a split second. What had been a tough adventure suddenly became a life-threatening situation.
Morning up here, the boys have treated themselves to a sleep in, and now it's an absolute shambles. We're nearing the start of our big proper climb, the crux point of this entire trip. It's all clagged in, so it's going to be interesting up there.
We're going into that dark abyss.
It's about to get gnarly.
This is our route in between these two mega death walls.
So Finn, my brother's just climbed up there and given us the wee call that he reckons this route is a go, potentially to get to the top.
And I've just pulled a big rock in my leg, and there's a very, I'm just having a lot of pain. There's a very big cut in my leg.
You'll be right, mate.
You can shot if you'd like. Oh, yeah.
Cut off from the outside world with no phone signal, they had only one option: activate their emergency beacon. As temperatures dropped and the sun disappeared, the group did everything they could to protect the injured member, using their gear to shelter him while awaiting rescue. After a long, tense wait, a helicopter finally arrived.
Yeah, hopefully the children come tonight, otherwise it's going to be a sucky night sleeping in the tent tonight. But no, it'll be sweet as. All good.
So we've just had word that the helicopter may be inbound in 30 minutes, and otherwise it's going to be, we're all staying here tonight. Now with these rescue services, it's often the person who's gone down is going to go out, and the remaining parties need to continue on their original route out of there.
Battling high winds to reach their position, the rescue team carefully evacuated the injured man, leaving the rest of the group to continue their journey on foot.
Holy shit, boys. And
Spicy.
3 remain. Oh.
This wasn't just a tale of survival. It was a sobering reminder of how quickly nature can turn. No matter how prepared you are, one wrong step in the wilderness can transform a dream adventure into a fight to stay alive. Number 6. Rob Call. Nature is a YouTube channel that thrives on outdoor survival challenges, whether it's braving the elements without fire or sleeping under the stars with no shelter. But on one cold journey, what started as an ordinary solo adventure turned into something far more unsettling. While browsing Google Earth, the creator spotted a point of interest deep in the woods labeled Viking Tomb. With no images or details online, the place immediately piqued his curiosity. Determined to find out what was there, he drove as far as he could, then set off on foot into the remote wilderness. Before disappearing into the forest, something strange happened.
Google Earth. If you get close enough to the terrain, there always pops up points of interest. And by pure luck, in the middle of the woods, suddenly popped up a point of interest, and it read Viking Tomb. So I clicked on it, and only one picture taken from that Viking tomb. So I thought that place we have to visit. That's weird. Why would they do that? That really bothered me. Why would they take pictures of my car? So we have to head due west. When I unpacked my car, there drove a car by. They slowed down pretty much when they saw me. And just now, before I left the road into the woods, they made another round and took a picture of my license plate. Maybe it was the landowner. Maybe they thought I was a poacher.
A passing car circled back and appeared to take pictures of his vehicle, even snapping his license plate. It was odd, but he pushed the thought aside and continued hiking. Hours later, after a long trek through snow-covered terrain, he reached the Viking Tomb. As snow began to fall, he set up camp and tried to settle in for the night, but the temperature kept dropping. Despite being bundled in warm gear, the cold cut through everything, leaving him shivering and unable to sleep.
Wind is really cooling down this shelter, even though I'm all tucked in and I've got hand warmers, 4 of them. I just can't seem to get warm, so I'm just laying here shivering. I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Am I hypothermic? No, but it's really uncomfortably cold. We are going to get up, back up, and hike out in the night.
Eventually, he made the difficult decision to pack up in the middle of the night and hike back out, a choice that may have saved him from something far worse than hypothermia. When he returned to his car, he noticed something chilling, a second set of footprints next to his own. They were fresh, laid down while he was deep in the forest. The snow made it clear. Someone had been there recently, walking around his vehicle. Whoever it was had come after he left.
Well, someone has been interested in my car. I knew there was something off. These are not my footprints. The left one is mine, and the right one is the visitor in the night. When we headed out, someone took a picture of my car. Well, maybe they're as curious as I am. Well, that's the... let's just get out of here.
Was it a curious passerby? A concerned landowner? Or had someone been watching his every move? The eeriness of it all was enough to send him straight back down the road, leaving the tomb and its mystery behind, for now. Number 7. Omama New is no stranger to eerie adventures. His camping trips often take him deep into remote, unsettling places. But this night was unlike anything he had ever experienced. As the sun disappeared behind the trees, he settled in by the fire. Sipping hot chocolate and unwinding beneath the stars. The scene was calm, almost peaceful, but the land had a reputation, and not a comforting one. Locals warned of a haunted road nearby, said to confuse travelers and lure them off course. One path led to a cemetery, another to a village, but stories told of ghostly figures that appeared perfectly human, until it was too late. It was the kind of place where people reported getting lost for hours, as if something unseen was playing with their senses. Later that night, he decided to explore a trail, but as he walked, a sense of dread settled over him.
HHH hit H hit high hit H hit Hopnia.
It felt like something was behind him. Though he saw nothing, uneasy, he made his way back to camp. But what happened next shattered any illusion of safety. His parked motorcycle, untouched and turned off, suddenly roared to life. The handlebars twisted violently on their own, as if invisible hands were gripping them. No one was around. With alarm setting in, he switched it off and ducked into his tent, now recording everything with 2 cameras. one on him, the other on the bike. An hour passed before something appeared. A tall figure, dressed in white with long black hair, sat silently on the motorcycle. Then it laughed, a bone-chilling sound that echoed through the trees, and just as quickly as it appeared, it was gone. No movement, no sound, just empty space where the figure had been seconds before. Was it a trick, a prank, or something far darker hiding in those woods? The footage left him, and everyone watching shaken. Some places aren't meant for company, and sometimes something out there accepts that challenge. On December 20th, 2023, Yasko and his friends Ben and Chris embarked on a camping trip deep in the frozen wilderness of Adirondack Park in northeastern New York. They settled into an old, abandoned cabin, miles away from civilization. As night fell, the forest around them became a dark, intimidating expanse of towering trees. Though they believed they were alone, the growing sense of unease told a different story. The cold wasn't the only thing keeping them on edge. Strange noises like distant rustling and whispers echoed from outside, and an eerie feeling lingered in the air.
You hear that, right? Oh, what the fuck? Who's there? Ah! What the fuck? Oh shit! Yo, who's there? What the fuck was that? Slow it up, slow it up. No, don't turn the lights off, don't turn the lights off. Okay, my bad. Hold on.
As the night went on, the strange sounds grew more persistent, and it became clear that something was not right. The tension reached its peak when the cabin door suddenly slammed shut, leaving them in a state of shock and confusion.
Yo, listen! Is that running? It sounds like someone's running away. Who's there?
They stepped outside into the icy night, only to find the surrounding forest completely still, with no signs of movement or any trace of what could have caused the disturbance. Was it a paranormal presence, or something else entirely? Regardless, the trio quickly realized they were not alone, and the unsettling feeling remained.